My name is Atul, and I live in New Delhi, India. I'm an agnostic Hindu and an out and proud parent to a transgender child, Versha. There is nothing in the Hindu religious traditions that says anything against the LGBT communities or LGBT identities. Hinduism, in its truest, most ancient form, is embracing of diversity. It celebrates diversity. My child, my daughter, she's a transgender woman, and she's a tech nerd. Uh, Ever since her younger days, she's been a big gamer, and that interest in gaming got her interested in computing, and that's what she chose as her academic major in graduation. She is a top 1 percentile kind of a child uh, in terms of her IQ, uh, extremely widely read. You can engage her in discussions on philosophy, psychology, economics, mathematics, computing, and she can engage you in very good conversations. We actually never really noticed that there is something amiss. Indian society is full of transphobia and homophobia, and she probably saw it everywhere. And therefore, what she did was she chose to hide her identity, and she did it extremely well. When she hit her teenage years, she became extremely reclusive, would not talk to people much, and I felt that she had some kind of depression even back then. Uh, but she would refuse to visit a doctor, a psychiatrist, or a therapist. That time, she got extremely busy with her academic stuff. She drowned herself completely in academic pursuits, and then when she joined college, the same thing continued. After a couple of years into college, she came out with her depression, and it was really bad by that time. The depression treatment continued for a few months, and then she came out as trans and shared with us her true feelings, uh, and also told us that being trans was the reason for her mental health problems. She wanted us to accept her. I mean, there was that very emotional message she wrote to the three of us here, me, my wife, and my daughter, the other younger daughter. And the message read, Mom, Dad, Sis, let me share this with you. And I have thought about this a million times. But now I want to share this with you. I cannot hold it anymore. So please understand that I am a girl born with a male body, and we are called transgender people. Will you still be able to accept me and love me the way you have always done? I was shell shocked, uh, because not because I have any issues with my child being trans, but I do understand that the world is a very hostile place for transgender people. It was a very emotional, difficult day for me, and all through the day I had tears in my eyes, uh, worrying about my child's future, and My wife's experience was similar. For several months, we discussed and shared with each other how we could possibly make our child's life easier and better. It was a very emotional and very draining time for us. It drained us emotionally. We were exhausted. Acceptance was never an issue. I mean, I don't even think of the word acceptance. It's talked about quite a bit by LGBT people I know, but I don't even like the word acceptance. Parents have no business accepting or not accepting their children. Uh, but the only fear that we had was that my child is going to have a very challenging life ahead. Uh, Fortunately, so far, those fears were perhaps, at least they were exaggerated, if not true. So things have started becoming better as she has transitioned. Her mental health has improved. She's now currently going through her legal transition, change of name and gender in the official identity documents. We've actually come much closer to her as parents, and she has been able to become closer to us. So we've actually become a lot closer uh, as a family than we were before the coming out. Why it's so important for parents like us to become visible, out and proud parents is that we need to actually stand out as an example for the rest of the society to be able to realize that LGBT children could have great lives once parental support exists. And there is example after example after example where children who are on the LGBT spectrum are supported. When they're supported by their families, they are able to lead happy, productive, good lives. And so, since parental support matters, a few parents standing out in the community as examples for the rest of the parents makes a big difference. Any parent who's struggling with in their acceptance journey, learn one important message. Your child is normal. It is not abnormal to be LGBT. It's how humanity has evolved over thousands of years. And if this was uh, abnormal in any sense, then evolution would perhaps have worked against it over those millions of years. So your child is normal, love them, and they will grow. Please embrace them, because as of now, the world outside is very hostile for any LGBT children. At least our homes can be perfect, safe spaces for them to be themselves. So provide safe spaces for your LGBT children in your homes. And this provision of safe spaces is what I urge all of you to ensure. What makes me proud of my daughter? I'm very proud of the fact that she chose at a fairly young age to be herself. In a world that is hostile to people who do that, she has chosen to be herself. And perhaps it's the hardest thing to be. If Versha, my daughter, is watching this, my message to her is that we have always loved you and we will always continue to do it. Your being trans uh, has made life a little challenging over the last few years, but those challenges were actually years of growth for us. We have learned so much. We have grown so much as, you know, as parents, as a family, as persons. You have been a kind of an educator for us, although I'm the educator in the family, I'm the teacher. I even taught you in your younger days. And I hope now time has come for me to learn from you, and for the rest of us to do the same. Since you have grown so much more, you have acquired so much more knowledge and understanding of the world, that hopefully we will be able to learn from you now and grow. It's been a wonderful journey. It's a journey that we will go through very happily all over again. And so I wish you all the best in your life, all the happiness that you can possibly get. I will always be there right by your side. Whenever you need me, you will find me with you. So that's the message I and also uh, everyone in our family has for Versha, that she will always find us right next to her whenever she has a need for us to be there with her.